Okay, so like Susan said, well actually, first of all, I'd like to thank Susan. She is fantastic. She knows everything in the world. I swear she's one of the most intelligent ladies I've ever met. She truly is striving, and not only striving, she's making inclusion happen in the school board and everywhere. So I want to thank her. Also, I want to thank you guys for letting me join this conversation. I'm so excited to talk to you guys, but also to hear what you guys have to say and what you think, if you think this can work. So like Susan said, my name is Zack Quinlan. Right now I'm a third-year public relations student at Mount Saint Vincent. A couple years ago, I had an idea, simply. I can tell you how it happened. I was the president of my student council, and I was in my last year of high school, and it was very, very early in the year. And I remember walking through the hallways. And walking through the hallways, I stood back for a moment, just to completely understand what was happening around me. And I could see a clear disconnection. And we all know this disconnection. It exists everywhere, not only within challenges, but it exists in our lives. It exists in our workplace. It exists in our community, our friends. There's a disconnection. What I seen was students who were almost walking on eggshells, walking around other students who had challenges, walking through the hallways, but making sure that they were very careful. And I couldn't understand what were they being careful about? What were they so afraid of? What was this void? What I could capture, what I could understand, was that we as a community were not comfortable with each other. As a school, we were not united. And that's what this project, that's where it started. That's where the seed was planted, was that if I was the president of the student council, yeah, I wanted to have fun, I wanted to have events, we all did. But those events weren't fun, and we weren't being fully inclusive unless we were hitting all demographics. We were all inclusive, we were all having fun, we were all participating. So, as you can tell, I started this project. I went to my principal, I was fairly close with her at the time, and I said, what can we do? What can we do about this situation? How can we ensure that everyone is being fully inclusive, that everyone is being involved? And I thought of this idea, and my idea was called Involve. So what Involve entailed is truly creating this safe and caring school, this environment that everyone felt welcome and everyone felt inclusive, and no students were avoiding any students when walking down the halls. So Involve, the type of program that I felt this was a program that would work best in schools. So institutions, junior highs, high schools, even university. This year I'm trying out a very similar model. So I know that the school board and many other people work so very hard and do such a fantastic job for making everyone accessible, or everything accessible and everyone involved. And I commend them on that. But it's very difficult for teachers, for adults, to see where those voids exist in actual social situations. So not in the classroom. Teachers do a fantastic job. I really do believe that Nova Scotia especially does a fantastic job of accommodating every student. But recesses, lunches, hallways, assemblies, those are difficult. Those are difficult fields for teachers to bring yourself to the student level. Not only teachers, any really adult. It's you know, you can remember that time in high school and junior high, but it's hard to put yourself in that generation and understand fully what's happening. That's where I come in. That's where Jillian comes in. That's where us students come in. Students supporting students. That's what this program is about. Students making sure that we're all involved, that we're all inclusive. Building sustainability, like I said, within, supporting each other. Not only that, but this program is very cost effective. Little cost, maximum benefit. That's one of the key messages that we're pushing here. This is working together. It's not paying it off. It's not making it happen through cash money. It's working together. So, like I said, it's breaking down these barriers. So this void that existed, this walking on the eggshells, it's breaking down these barriers. I was thinking, first, how did these barriers become? Why do these exist? We all have challenges, we all have differences. What makes it so that we feel uncomfortable to connect with each other? I started, like I said, to step back and observe, to try to understand where this was coming from, how this was being created. And I noticed that during assemblies, for example, all students would sit in these bleachers. And then our special needs students would come in about 5 minutes into the assembly, and they would see it closely on the side near us. Not with us, but near us. That struck me. Why? Why sit on the side? Why not sit with? Why? Just habit, I guess. It's just how we've been doing it. What about recess and lunchtimes? Instead of sitting together in the cafeteria, students were sitting, once again, on the side. Not with us, on the side. What are we creating when we do this? Yes, we're in the same room, we're participating, but are we truly participating? Are we connecting? No. And that's nobody's fault. That's all of us. That is, we just act in habit. That's how it has gone, that's how it was happening, so we continued. Like I said earlier, accessibility, many people, including government, the school board, teachers, do a fantastic job of making everything accessible. Not only that, academic programming, we're continually growing. It's these assemblies, lunchtime, field trips, events, student activities that we're targeting with this Involve program. Like I said, what are we visually communicating to students? 50 to 80% of communication is about the visual message. So what was the message that we were sending to students when we were sitting on the side? When we were sitting on the side of the lunch, in the assemblies, when we were having these student events, and not all demographics were being invited. There was a similar group that would come out to every event, and yeah, the event was fantastic, but was everyone involved? No. This is how Involve began. I seen this void, I seen this visual message, and I said, to be honest, it was a lot of students. It's just difficult to initiate, to begin. So I thought, I could do this. This would be great. This is a good thing that bishops can do. We can do this. So like I said, I began. I started to think of ideas of how I could connect everyone. I began, like I said, with 5 to 10 students. So a student council. I asked my council one day, I brought this idea up. I said, I think that we can do a few things to get everything moving in the same motion, to make sure that everyone's on the same wave. We could do something. And I thought about it, and they thought about it, and they said yes. They all agreed, about 5 to 10 of us. And this is the part of the process that is essential. To have these 5 or 10 students that are dedicated, that want to make this change, is truly all it takes to make this happen in a school of 600 students. Not only that, but having the physical space. Another component that was very important to me was making sure that there was a room where we could go to connect with the students. That was away from every other distraction in the school. There was an Involve room. So this would be known as the Involve room. We could go there, hang out, have a few of our own personal relationship building events, and just to begin the wheel. So like I said, we started this room, it was the Involve room. And that was when we first started to meet. Student volunteers and I started to meet with students once or twice a week, students with challenges, and we decided to eat lunch together. One of the barriers, like I said, was lunchtimes, and I wanted to break that down first. I thought lunchtimes, if we could all be together during lunchtimes, that's a fantastic start. So what we did was 10 minutes before lunchtimes, each of our students would go down to the challenging students' room, and we would each pair up. pair up. One of my greatest friends is Alana. Alana and I would pair up, and we would go out and eat lunch, except I would bring Alana to eat lunch with my friends. Alana, which is now her friends. And that's a part of it. This is a part of how it grows. Eating lunch with each other, we were able to share, we were able to communicate. And like Susan said, it's more than just learning from a classroom. It's about the actual experience, the situational skills that you're learning and you're understanding. This worked very well, I found. Right off the bat, you know, there always is a little bit of hesitation when you break down these barriers, but everyone's here for the same reason. Like Susan said, it doesn't matter. Everyone craves socialization, to connect with one another. It really didn't matter. We each have differences, we each have challenges. They became irrelevant once we started to converse. As I said also, a teacher advisor is essential to this role in the sense that to have someone who understands students fully. I don't understand students. I don't understand myself a lot of the time. It's hard to understand. Teachers really do have the full picture, and they are really trying to make our lives as easy as possible. So to have a teacher advisor watch over this program is a good idea, and our teacher provided a lot of knowledge, but also how we could go about the situations in a manner where it wasn't necessarily out there for everyone to see. We could do it in the background. It runs a full academic year involved, so it would run from September right till June. Like I said, student leaders are essential for this. You really have to have students, like I said, all students may want to, but you need to have students that want to initiate it. I like to explain this with a little analogy, and you guys can tell me if it works, because I'm not sure. I try it out. I'll try it out. So I want you guys, everyone, to picture the stereotypical junior high dance, where all males are on one side, and all females are on the other side, and you know, you're nervous, and you're really nervous to just start dancing. Nobody's on the dance floor, right? And then, I'll use me as an example, because I was always, I'd like to think I was a good dancer. I don't know if I am, but maybe I was the first one to start dancing. So I would go out, I'd start breaking a few moves, and people are looking at me and they're saying, what is he doing? He is not a good dancer. What is he doing? And then I asked my friend to come over. They start dancing with me as well. Now we have two people on the dance floor, and everyone's saying, well, that's better now. And then 3 people come in. And then you want to start dancing as well, because everyone else is dancing and you're standing on the side. 4 people, 5 people, 6 people, you got to get in there. It's time. You're starting to be one of the only ones on the side now, right? This is the analogy I use because it's optics. Students see it happening and they want to participate. Like I said, like Susan said, like Jillian will say, every single person wants to participate. Every single person deserves to participate. It's just making the movement, starting it, so that everyone else can go with it. Also, ensuring that we are supporting it fully. I do like the idea of having students. I would like it to be as natural as possible, in the sense that we are meeting and we are truly making relationships that last. That's what this is about, having that 1 or 2 friends. These student leaders can be one of those 1 or 2 friends. So let's say this doesn't catch on. Let's say everyone else doesn't join in on the dance. That's still providing 2 relationships, 1 for me, 1 for you, a relationship that lasts and that matters. So one of the key components as well is identifying students. Not necessarily in the sense that identifying particular students, but identifying where the isolation exists. Because like I said, There's no specifics. There's no rule book. It exists everywhere, except for this room. This room is doing great. You guys are all doing great. No voids in here. So that's what it's about. It's seeing that void, seeing that isolation, and then targeting that exactly. Like I said, another topic was assemblies. So after we started getting comfortable with lunchtimes, after relationships started building, then we moved on to assemblies. During every single assembly, we would pair up 5-10 minutes, disperse with our friends. Disperse all of our friends. We were all together in one assembly on one set of bleachers. We were no longer separated. That visual message, gone. So now we have lunchtimes, assemblies, all social environments, environments that teachers don't necessarily have control over. That's what we're affecting here. So we did recess, lunchtimes, assemblies. I started to think more and more. I could see the change happening, but I wanted to be fully inclusive. So I started to think as a student council, what can we do? As a students' union. And then I recognized this void, this last void, was our events ourselves. Creating these events, there was no invitation. Some events weren't not necessarily even accessible. So as a student council, being aware of what we're asking, being aware of who we're inviting everyone to truly be inclusive. So I started to think about how we could get situational skills developing as well. I started to work with some of the students in the challenging needs class, and then we started to make flyers for certain events. We started to literally work on decorations for dances. We were now getting students involved not only in the social environments, but in the actual preparation for the events. Teachers got to develop the curriculum around different projects that students could engage with students. So they weren't being taught, they weren't sitting in a classroom saying, at prom, do this, eat like this. They were actually experiencing it and learning it in that sense. And that's how we learn, truly, is through experience. Like I said, we have recess, lunch, assemblies, events. So we're in inclusion in the sense that they're working on events with us. They're developing events, and then they get to go to the event and appreciate it that much more. And say, I did this. This is mine. I did that. We're being truly inclusive. Whoops, sorry. Another idea I thought was interesting was if we could begin fundraising together. So fundraising in the sense that I had an idea for the room. I thought that the room could use an extra touch. The Involved room was great. It was great for eating lunch, having fun, making new friendships, but it needed something to make it a little bit more natural. So we started to fundraise. As a student council, working with students, working with the challenging needs students, we started to raise money, doing bake sales, recycling, raising money. We ended up raising $500. I went to the special needs teacher and I said, what can we put this towards that's fun for all of us, that we can all have a good time with? And this is what she suggested, and I thought it was a fantastic suggestion. A Wii. So you're thinking, video games during school, I don't quite understand. What this is it's an environment. It's something to have fun with. It's something to say, let's go play. Let's go play Wii. Easy. That obstacle, that barrier is broken down now. The uncomfortable feeling, the eggshells, the little bit of awkwardness is gone. There's something that we can do together now, to have fun together with. And that's what I really enjoyed about this, was I got to, not only improve my Wii skills, but I got to make some friends as well and the Wii was a little bit strategic in the sense that it did help out with motor skills. It did help out with working together. It's very much a team a game system in the sense that you're working with each other. As Susan said, this is about making sure that our lives are all enriched, that we're all fully connected. There really is no reason. We don't understand why these disconnections exist, but they do. It's acknowledging these voids and making an idea that can overcome them. So acknowledging the void of the visual message that we're sending, and then eliminating that visual message. Eliminating the void in class or in lunch times, in recess. Eliminating event voids. Having everyone inclusive. Having everyone around everyone. Experiencing everyone. Being comfortable with everyone. Students supporting students. That is what this project is about. There really is no structure, no plan. It kind of just happens. And to be honest, another silly analogy that I like to use is the high five effect. Because one of my favorite things to do when walking in the hallway, not that I'm trying to avoid conversation, but you're busy, is the high five. So, you're walking, just bye, high five. Right? The high five, it's a great gesture. Makes you feel good. High five. So this high five effect, it began with just me. I like I said, high five in the hallway, high five all my friends. I noticed that the challenging needs students started to catch on to the high five too. They liked the high five. We all started high fiving. By the end of the year, no joke, the entire school high-fived. Students, if there's one connection that seems so simple, like Susan said, but has so many layers, it's that high five. Because the high five someone while passing, you must feel pretty comfortable with them. It's almost like a go get it. Enjoy that class. Try not to fall asleep. You know what I mean? It's about feeling united, feeling like one. And that was the effect that I loved to see. That was what made it all worth it for me. There was no longer in the hallways, there was no longer these eggshells that existed. No one was walking around anyone. We were high-fiving each other. All different challenges, all different personalities, this didn't matter. We were all one. We were all united. We were supporting each other. So this project did do pretty well in the sense that it was recognized by lots of people. It won the Safe and Caring Schools Award for that year. And a lot of people were interested in it. But like I said, the true success was none of this. The true success was seeing students supporting students, making students independent, making students feel unisolated, making that void go away. It's a social environment. It's different than just classrooms. It's different than learning. It's how you feel. It's anxiety. It's being afraid to walk in a hallway because people may not want to walk next to you. There is nothing more in the world that could hurt than that feeling. Making those feelings go away is what this project is truly about. Like I said, everyone gained. It was truly inclusive. And I made a few friendships that I will never forget. And I got a grad date out of it too. It was pretty fantastic. Like I said, my friend Alana and I, we went to grad together, and I could not have had a better time. We were being truly inclusive. To this day, Involve has grown ×3. So there's 3 times as many students now. It's gone on for 3 years. Are you seeing the connection? It's growing. Students are feeling more comfortable. They're seeing the students do it. They're seeing the dance happening, and they're joining in on the dance. A student council position was created for a student of disabilities. So not only are we being truly inclusive, but we're representing all demographics of our school and making sure that if we are planning an event that isn't fully accessible, we have a representative there that can say, this is a better idea. And this is good too. This is a nice way to do this. We're being fully inclusive. I really do stand by this, but I'm not the first person to do this. So many students have done this. It's about us giving these students the opportunity. So getting the students started, planting it. If you notice a student that you think can begin an initiative like this, because everyone wants to, everyone can, talk to them, encourage them. The amount of opportunities that are provided from this little initiative, this small, tiny initiative, is truly so much bigger than we can think. It hits areas that we have no idea. The other day, I had a student. I also am involved with Best Buddies in my university. And I had a student and a peer buddy, and they were having a great time together. We went to the boys' basketball game at MSVU. And after the basketball game, the peer buddy was leaving, and I said, I can't wait to see you next time. And she said, before I go, can you make sure that you say hi to this basketball player? And I said, sure, why didn't you say hi? You know, don't worry about it. They're just basketball players. And she said, I know, but I was a little bit nervous to say hi. So if you could just say hi, that would mean the world. And I said, absolutely, I can do that. How did you know him? And she said, I knew him from high school, probably 5 years ago. How'd you know him from high school? He smiled at me. He smiled at me. To think that a smile can make a difference, that's a pretty big deal. That's what this program's about. That's why Susan is here. That's why Jillian is here. We want to spread this with you. We want to spread our ideas so that you can spread these ideas and that you can make these happen. So here's our first year of Involve. This is all of us in the Evolve room. We got a couch. How sweet is that? Nobody gets couches. So we got a couch. This is us, I believe, right before the dance at the end of the year. This is us at the food fight that we had outside. It was allowed, don't worry, I approved it by administration. And this is the Wii system that I was telling you about. And Mario Kart, which was the game that they wanted. Because who doesn't love Mario Kart? Mario Kart's such a good game. So, like I said, get involved, stay involved. Once it happens, it won't stop. It's a snowball, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I want to thank you guys once again for participating in this conversation with me. It's been my pleasure. As well, I want to, like I said, thank Susan. She's truly fantastic, and she made this so easy for us. And it is a little bit intimidating for students to talk to you guys. You guys are very intelligent human beings that have a lot more knowledge and experience. So it's nice to share this conversation with you guys and fully get a true perspective. Thank you.